Alright, hello everybody. This is Dissonant Waves, episode 40. We've reached the big 40. And to celebrate, we've decided to go full in on King Gizzard and the Lizard I can't say it. Decided to go full in on King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard this
Got it
time.
that time.
I got it that time, motherfucker.
This is our 40th take.
And we got 3 albums. We got Flying Microtonal Banana. We got Polygondwanaland and Chunky Shrapnel. And one is a live album. 2 of them are not. 2 of them are from their big 2017. Let's do 5 albums in a year thing.
Yeah, I'm just looking again at the Chunky Shrapnel. I'm fucking up my fingers. Yeah, there's not much from the Flying Microtonal Banana that actually appears on Chunky Shrapnel, but there's actually a whole section of Polygondwanaland that appears on Chunky Shrapnel.
Yes.
Which I was lucky to be able to hear live as well during that world tour part. It's the inner cell to horology. It's like this whole section on Polygondwanaland, and it's so fucking good. I love it so much.
Wish I could see that movie though.
Nah. Sorry, lad. I didn't pay for it. I should have paid and watched it. I never watched it.
I would buy a DVD if I could. Maybe one day.
Do we even want to start at an album, or are we just gonna go just like doing all at once?
Let's just talk about King Gizzard. Like, what is the point of going into the? I mean, we'll rate them later, whatever. Like,
it's weird because we've never done. I don't think we've done an episode based on one artist yet.
I mean, we've had like the
We've done
minisodes.
We've done minisodes, but like a full episode.
No, we've not.
And
Yeah.
this one, I don't think we really planned to do until like a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago or something. Because Trix, you just suddenly got into King Gizzard after the whole Slifton OCs.
Yeah.
And this is my redemption arc now that I like them now.
Nonagon Infinity and Festa Rat's Nest are like 2 completely different albums to what we're hearing here. Despite the fact that obviously we have some Nonagon Infinity and Infesta Rat's Nest on this Chunky Shrapnel, especially since when they were doing the world tour, they were touring Infesta Rat's Nest.
And I listened to those 2 albums again, and I liked the Chunky Shrapnel versions of Planet B and stuff a lot better.
I was the opposite way.
There were definitely some moments live where I reckon you just had to hear it live. Like, you can still appreciate the studio versions, but the live version is just that good. And one of the big ones that a lot of people agree on is Billabong Valley.
I mean, that was a good song. I like that one.
Yeah, Billabong Valley is probably one of my favorites of Flying Microtonal Banana. I'm a simple man. I'd probably still put my favorite as Nuclear Fusion or Rattlesnake for that though.
Rattlesnake
But
is so
speaking
good.
of, yeah, listening to the brief history of Planet Earth for the first time, which is like this medley of a bunch of different King Gizzard songs, was very fun. I didn't kind of expect that to be their ending to the album.
It's their longest song now, I believe, technically. 20 minutes.
Yeah, but if you actually watch one of their live gigs, they'll play other jams and medleys sometimes to close out a gig that goes for like 34 minutes.
Fair, but I mean, like, released on like a CD that you could buy.
Yeah. I think their actual like official non-live biggest song, I believe, is "Head on Pill," which is like 16 minutes of song.
I gotta give it to Chunky Shrapnel though for like not making the cuts super obvious, especially in Brief History.
Oh yeah, if you listen to it without looking at the track list, you could swear it's all happening in the same place, except for I guess those parts where it goes to like the quarantine or the animesius, those kind of
Like the actual new songs that are part of the film soundtrack for the movie that we haven't seen.
Yeah, but one of the weirdest ones is Parking, which feels like this interlude between Planet B and Venetian 2.
Yeah.
And Planet B, Parking, and Venetian 2 were all in different areas, like London, Brussels, and Milan, respectively.
Yeah, Parking is basically like the John Bonham drum solo of the concert.
Yeah, it got too irritating.
Oh, I liked it.
I've never been one for drum solos.
Well, that's just because you're a bassist.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I've never been one for bass solos though either.
That's a good pun, though.
Thank you. I was hoping someone would acknowledge that.
You made a pun. I didn't even notice.
Think about it, Trix. Bassist. Bassist.
Based goddess.
Ah,
Oh,
she'll get it
gotcha.
one day. Anyway,
But yeah,
yeah,
like.
I think the big question I want to just ask you right now, and I know putting a ranking on the spot for you is a bit stupid, and especially like 5 minutes in. But where do you rank this with all the other live albums we've done?
I mean, obviously, we've only done like 2 or 3, right?
What have we? I would need to check what we've done. We've definitely done
We've done Jittery Joe's.
Jittery
I
Joe's.
think that's it.
Was that it? I thought we did another one.
I'll look at the list. But I mean, I
We
think
might have just done more on live, live songs and something like that. But yeah, maybe we haven't actually done.
I mean, Jittery Joe's is still better. Like I think Jittery Joe's is one of the best,
Mm.
like cohesive, fascinating live albums I've ever heard. Like this is good, but like that is like its own little thing. Like that's like a whole saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, live at Jittery Joe's is actually one proper. I mean, I could have gone with any of the Bandcamp stuff that they did for the bushfire.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole episode in itself we could do.
Well, with a couple of them actually being on Chunky Shrapnel, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because like I know one of them at least is has the same city in it that they did it here. I'm curious, like they have a bleed over or something.
Yeah, I'm quickly checking because I believe all those Bandcamp ones were the
Because Brussels,
Yeah,
had
so it was-
Brussels.
Yeah, it was Live in Brussels is the one. So I didn't end up buying Live in Brussels, but I did buy Paris and Adelaide, the 2 biggest cities in the world.
Okay, I'm looking at Live in Brussels playlist. Parking is not on there.
Yeah, I know, that was like one of the weirder things, and
So we're good.
Oh,
It's
oh.
good. It's all good. Everything is. Oh, Evil Star's on there though.
yeah.
Is that a live version? I wonder.
It's a bit confusing as well, and I think Parking might have just been a 2-minute interval at one of the end of the songs, or something like that. Like,
yeah, maybe. There's no.
it could have easily have been like I guess we'll take a look at what's 2 minutes and 3 longer than probably could have been like the wheel. Even this thing is not a 6-minute song, but actually this thing is a very great song to hear live though. Unfortunately, we didn't do Fishing for Fishies, so we can't really get a talk about a studio to live version too much here, but yeah, one day it'll come up. I think Fishing for Fishies is one of the. It's probably going to go down as one of the more underrated at the end because it's definitely been, more. Oh, its attention has been gone due to Infest the Rat's Nest coming out in the same year.
I mean, isn't that just kind of par for the course then for them? Like, they have 5 albums in a year.
They're planning to have another album out by the end of this year.
I heard something about 3 in 2021.
Yeah, and I'm hyped. I mean, that 5 in 2017. It wasn't the 5 greatest albums of all time. However, Flying Microtonal Banana and Polygondwanaland are here, and those are just fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Gumboot Soup was kind of like, here's everything else, we put it together.
Yeah, so
for you.
Gumboot Soup was literally the B-sides, or like I'm calling it B-sides, but like, if there were actual proper singles and stuff released for it, they would have been B-sides.
Right. Yeah, they just wanted to complete their promise.
But it's not the first time they've put out an kind of a collection of songs like this. The first time they did it was Oddments, which is literally being those kind of like, yeah, here's the songs that didn't quite fit into other albums, and we're kind of still proud of. I mean, we won't probably do Gumboot Soup. It's not really that worth of an album, but songs like
we got
Water,
so many albums.
Fucking fantastic.
We could do 3 or 4 or 5 more episodes of King Gizzard alone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely enough albums that I like that we haven't talked about. I'm in your mind, Fuzz, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, which is this kind of acoustic one. I like Sketches of Brunswick East, the one that they did with My Old High Club. I think that one, it's not the most fantastic album they've ever put out, and I wouldn't put it that high in their discography, but it's still a very nice kind of jazzy album.
Yeah, didn't it get nominated for a Jazz Award?
Fuck, I don't know. I'll go check that actually. I should probably know this stuff at the top of my head, but I do not, unfortunately. I don't think it did, but
You best jazz album at the ARIA Music Awards.
well, yeah, that's the Arias. That's just the Arias. It was nominated, but it didn't win. The winner in 2017, if he will go and show me what it fucking is, come on. Album of the year, best male, best adult, blah blah blah, best blues and roots. Come on. Fine arts, goddess is here we go. Yeah, best one went to James Morrison, the BBC Concert Orchestra, Keith Lookup, Harry Morrison, and William Morrison, the Great American Songbook.
Fair, whatever, fine. I have a question for you. What is with Australian artists and having their debut EP not be available at all?
Because usually they're so limited, and I mean, you can get some. You can find it off like CD and stuff for forgot what the debut EP was.
Anglesey?
Or
Anglesey?
Yeah, no, I think that one's a rarity actually.
No, that was their first EP.
Yeah, well, I think it's a rarity to find.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's just kind of a thing. I mean, Ballpark Music, who actually had hits with their first EPs, just don't have them on streaming or anything, which sucks because there are some great songs off there. But thankfully, you can still find them on YouTube and stuff. And some people do pass over the files on certain Discords. Thank you to the person who passed me with Ballpark Music EP files. There are some fucking great tunes off there.
I mean, I think because we like to explore like the pasts of certain artists and the history, and like, you know, we got that Sleeping Trains Middle East file somewhere that we can go over at some point. You know.
Yeah.
Like I like having all that.
I'm just looking at the prices that have been sold for the King Gizzard EP, and $150 is the lowest price it's been sold at.
Yeah,
I
like,
was just about to say it's like a dollar sign with the word ridiculous after it.
it's like feels like every major artist has one of those. It's like even Troye Sivan fucking has one of those. What the fuck?
I believe all of the albums are now officially on Spotify.
Yeah.
And other streaming services. I believe it was Eyes Like the Sky or 12 Bar. I think it was Eyes Like the Skies for a while, wasn't actually on there. But that has since been fixed. I mean, realistically as well, a lot of these King Gizzard stuff sell out quick. If it's a popular album by them, it's sold out quick. So Flying Microtonal Banana did not last long. None Got Infinity did not last long. In fact, the Rest Nest, I actually haven't seen a CD of that in ages, nor a vinyl. I have seen a bit of Fishing for Fishies and Murder of the Universe though. We like King Gizzard here.
Yeah, you've brainwashed me. It worked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking straight.
It just couldn't be Nonagon Infinity. It couldn't be Infest the Rat's Nest. If you just had gone with other albums, it would have been fine.
I think I helped loosen them up with some Slift and OCs too.
I mean, I still went back to Nonagon and Infest, and I still was not as big of a fan of those as it was of these three.
Well, they are completely different styles as well.
I think my problem with Nonagon is that it's like a virtually looping song, but none of the parts of it really stood out as much as I'd hoped they would. Like some parts are cool, but like I think the highlights of like Polygon and Microtonal are way better.
I mean, it's not like I disagree or anything on here. I still put Nonagon and Infest as my favorites. I mean, King Gizzard is so varied that it's kind of hard for there to be a universal favorite. Like I'll go into besteveralbums.com and I'll search up King Gizzard, and you'll probably get the nonagons and stuff at the front,
Right.
but they won't be that far ahead. Here we go. What did I say? So yeah, it says nonagons here. Its rank score is 2.5k, and then Flying Microtonal Banana's 1.4k, Polygondwanaland's 1.2k, I'm in Your Mind's 1k, and then yeah, it's just a couple hundred for all the rest. But realistically, that's not that far apart, especially since Nonagon Infinity was more popular than Flying Microtonal. So obviously, it's going to get a lot more people ranking it and giving it higher scores.
But I mean, like, why aren't people ranking Polygondwanaland? That's literally free to everybody.
Well, that got number 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that Flying Microtonal Banana is how I first heard of King Gizzard. I didn't listen to the album, but around 2017, I was getting real into like microtonal and like trying to and like just learning about it and learning about the different like.
You should have listened to it. Nuclear Fusion and
should have.
Rattlesnake Baby.
Yeah, I should have, and I do regret that. But that is when I had first heard of them.
I mean, I first heard of them in 2016 when my dad showed me Nonagon Infinity and kept telling me to listen to it.
Listen to it over and over and over and all.
So maybe you're right.
You can't stop listening.
Maybe people do just get brainwashed into King Gizzard. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I think we're onto something here. They're a cult.
They keep putting out music and more. Just don't think about it. Just listen. Don't think about it. Just keep listening.
But
here, 4 live albums, 2020. Go.
Flying Microtonal, I wasn't actually so hot on when it first released. I remember thinking it was a bit too weird, but it kind of all grew on me, and I kind of got past that and ended up enjoying it more. But I remember how hyped I was for the release of Polygondwanaland.
Like, what is it like to be hyped and like kind of dip up and down when it's just like kind of months apart like that?
It was one where literally the only single off it, and it was hardly even a single, it's just that was Crumbling Castle. And I mean, Crumbling Castle was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
So you gotta tell, and they said like, oh yeah, the album, it's gonna be released like 2 weeks. That you gotta tell me that you wouldn't be hyped like that.
I would be, but I just feel like there's so much fatigue after a while. Like, hey, it's number 3 or 4. We're almost there.
If they put out 5 Flying Microtonal Bananas, yeah, I'd be fatigued. But they put out 5 completely different albums.
That's true. That's fair. Flying Microtonal and Polygon are different, for sure.
So like, it's kind of hard to get fatigued when you're listening to so much different stuff. That would be like saying I just got fatigued from listening to music in general. I know it's a thing, but like, I don't really. And if you look into each different King Gizzard album, not as just, oh, I'm listening to more King Gizzard, it's kind of harder to get fatigued.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my Scrabble stats. I fucking hate that word Scrabble still. To see what my most played of King Gizzard songs are and albums. And I mean, Flying Microtonal Banana is actually up there. Polygondwanaland I do find harder to actually get into and listen to parts from. At least for a while I did. It's a bit easier going into like the Inner Cell to Horology part. I think that's the best part of the album. But still, it's an album I prefer to listen to in full than I do single parts from it. Whilst Flying Microtonal Banana is kind of easier to just dip in and out whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could listen to Billabong Valley or Nuclear Fusion just by itself, and it wouldn't feel like you're missing anything. Whilst Polygondwanaland, you can't just have to listen to in full.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on like the story of it. Like, if there's a story, it's fine. It's whatever. But like, it's just so smooth. It's just so like, it's so consistent.
Jammy.
Yeah. Like, I think I preferred it more almost because I felt like it was so consistently good that, like, yeah, Flying Microtonal was a little bit more experimental, and I should be more into that maybe. But like, I don't know, it parts of it just didn't.
Polygondwanaland does math rock better than most math rock bands do.
Like the second half of Flying Microtonal, it's like I don't remember it as much, you know, like Anoxia, Doom City, like I kind of remember it, but like go over to Polygondwanaland, it's like I know most of that. I've listened to most of that a little bit more even. Maybe that's part of it. But Rattlesnake, Melting, Open Water, Sleep Drifter, Bellabog Valley, yeah, I got.
I think I've said it before, but like nothing beats a concert opening with Rattlesnake.
I mean,
and
yeah.
you're just hearing a whole theater just shouting out the same word. Constantly.
Yeah, I'm sure that song is a lot better live than it is in the studio.
I mean, I do gotta commend them for using stuff like a Zerna for Flying Microtonal Banana, like getting into like the Turkish Middle Eastern vibes for real.
Yeah, they're the microtonal frets on their instruments are based off of, I want to say, Turkish saz.
Like they went to.
I don't know how any of these instruments. I just like how it sounds.
I like the noise go brr.
No, it's go brr.
But hey,
I mean,
you like what you like.
I'm not smart enough to tell you why King Gizzard music is great. I'm just telling you King Gizzard's music is great.
That's why we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who know nothing about music theory talk about music theory for 2 hours. Come join.
I think one of us knows about music
What?
theory.
Yeah, I took an AP class in high school.
Well, la di da, this is French man. French woman. I don't even know. Frenchman's usually quite generic, but like, I don't know enough about the French either. I never really paid attention in French class.
So side A on
Cool.
the Flying Microtonal Banana has tracks 1 through 3, and side B has tracks 4 through 9. Explain that, atheists.
A 7-minute song to start off the album.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 minute, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and then 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 2.
You explained it, atheists. Good job.
You know, that's the album is
Called Logic.
How long is it? It is 41 minutes. We got a 5.5 plus around 15, so that's 20.5 minutes for the first 3 songs. 41 divided by 2 is 20.5.
Yeah, that's the first half of the album.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
They got me good. They make you think it's only 3 tracks, and it is, but it's not.
I don't have Flying Microtonal Banana on vinyl, and I think it's like a very hard vinyl to find now.
That is a nice cover.
Yeah, it's a fantastic cover.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer Polygondwanaland a little bit more. Polygondwanaland looks like a 90s event, like video game.
I guess we also have to talk about the actual pressing and stuff about this and the whole public domain album that this was.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Unfortunately, it hasn't really taken off as much as as much as it should have. But it's very especially when you put up a bit of hype to an album and stuff like that, and it's a new album. It's kind of weird to just say, "All right, here you go. This is free. You can do it. You can sell it. I don't give a shit. Just take it." And they gave all the files to press it on vinyl and press it on CD and shit. And it helped record stores and stuff have more stock, or other labels and stuff like that put out whatever the fuck they wanted to, because they could create their own vinyls to this. There is an official flightless vinyl and CD for this. They released it a year later. I picked up the CD. I still have it somewhere. I haven't actually opened it, nor do I kind of plan to.
I mean, if I want to
also release it on NES cassette.
I think someone did. I'll take a look. NES cassette.
Not cassette, a cartridge, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to make a movie and put the songs in it, I probably could, right? Or would that be too far?
So to answer that question, Trix, yes, I'm sharing over the Reddit post where someone's talking about it, and this is fantastic. I think it's obviously probably not
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poly on 8-track sold out, on floppy sold out, no surprises there. Dude, 8-bit escapades converted, blah blah blah, into vinyl. I think it's probably so impressive it's not sold out.
I just appreciate public domain, give it to people for free music in general. Like, I think it's great. I love it. That's another reason why I think it's the best album of the week, personally. You can talk about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is all sold out. My God, they were selling the 12-inch yellow vinyl for $15 US.
Jesus.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go down the street and make it myself, I guess, but $50, $50.
Yeah, they also sold a test press vinyl. So I guess this is like I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if the vinyl was the actual album or was an 8-bit version of the album that they made, but
I think it's an 8-bit version of it.
that's still pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately, for those who seem interested in this idea, yeah, it's completely sold out, and no surprise, this post is 2 years old or 10 months old actually.
You probably sell just enough to make profit.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna watch this video actually. Someone's posted the vinyl playing, and we can actually listen to what it kind of sounds like, I guess.
This is good
Yep.
podcast.
Should I put
Yep,
it on Should I put it on the episode?
You
I mean,
can if you
it is
want.
public domain.
Yeah, it's public domain. You can play any King Gizzard you want. This is really good actually. So this is yeah, it's an actual 8-bit version of the song or of the album.
Well, that's interesting. Well, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I guess you're theoretically allowed to. That's.
We'll see if I get
Public
copyright
domain.
struck, but we should.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Flightless is owned by King Gizzard.
I mean, we got struck for SpongeBob, so whatever. We're not struck, but we got like a like a non like serious notice of like you're not gonna get monetized. We don't monetize anyway, but it's just annoying.
I know that was like 5 seconds or something with SpongeBob, and they're fucking like, yep, that's enough.
Yeah.
What was it? What were we even playing? Loop to Loop or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, loop to loop. Because it turns out when it comes to kids shows that love to promote sharing and kindness and a lot of other ethics, it goes to show that if you use 5 seconds of something to comment on and fairly comment on, that's enough for your whole work to be gone.
That was totally fair use too, because we were critiquing.
Yeah.
Well, commenting on it and was showing it, and it was like 5 seconds. Yeah, YouTube's copyright is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
But you know what isn't dumb?
King Gizzard?
Well, it depends on which album you listen to.
What is dumb King Gizzard?
Murder of the Universe. Fight me, everybody that likes Murder of the Universe.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I don't plan to bring it up. They failed on it, I reckon.
Right, so people say that Quarters was also not good?
A lot of people like Quarters.
Oh.
I haven't actually listened to Quarters in full. I've only listened to The River. The River is considered by a lot of people to be their best song, so Generally, no one considers Quarters to be that best album, but like people still like it from what I see.
That's fair.
I mean, granted, I should probably listen to it myself in full. And it's one of those albums that's like, yeah, it's hard to just put on will since it's not new.
Right.
Since there's just so much of it, and it's just like so unurgent for me to put on that I just haven't.
Well, it sounds like a perfect podcast album to me.
Thanks, Dominic. I've now that I've gotten both of you into King Gizzard, I don't need to choose their albums anymore.
Well, I'm not going to choose any of them for the rest of the year, at least. I know that. I got too many other plans.
Unless the 2020 albums grab you that much. But even I'm probably still going to choose it first anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we actually go back onto, and when I say go back, I mean go back a while here, back onto Non-Gone Infinity and Festa Rat's Nest for a bit, because obviously those are the two ones that we've done before this.
I mean, knock yourself out. I don't have really much to say. Like,
do you still think Here Comes the Cowboy is better?
Yes.
No.
How?
I resonated more with Here Comes the Cowboy. I thought the construction of the songs was interesting.
I don't even think Here Comes the Cowboy is bad. I got that record store day vinyl with the other demos, and I will listen to it because I want to know what he considers too much of a shitpost to put on Here Comes the Cowboy. I like the shitpost of that album. I think Festa Rat's Nest is just so much better though.
But like songs like Heart to Heart are very genuine, and I don't know, I like songs like Bye Bye Baby Goodbye or whatever it is. Like oh, what was it? There was another song. I'm going on with the Wikipedia page. Like Nobody or Finally Alone is like a very easy listening kind of like Frank Sinatra-y vibe that I really appreciate.
Nobody is fucking fantastic, and I will defend that song. But like in Festa Rat's Nest, Planet B, Superbug,
Choo Choo, Little Dog's March, Here Comes the Cowboy, K is also really good. Like, I listened to both of those albums back to back the other day. Like, in Festa Rat's Nest. What?
Which lyric is more important, alright? There is no Planet B. Choo choo.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Come and ride with me.
Back to Marco with the political message of a lifetime. I hate when they put politics in my song. Choo choo. Fast train.
I'm just gonna go play some Fallout and masturbate to some fucking I don't know.
But like,
I don't know where that joke was going.
Here Comes the Cowboy is such an easy listen. It is so low key and nice. Like it's a shit post. You could talk about that, sure, whatever. But it's just such a different album than Infest the Rat's Nest. Like, it's hard to compare them, but I do think in the end, Here Comes the Cowboy is the better album for me. Like, personally. Like, if we're talking about production wise, that's probably different, but
I mean, it's one of those things that I'm just genuinely surprised of. I mean, obviously it's your opinion. I'm not gonna try and change it. I'll have fights with you, but that's the fun. It's always fun to have fights.
Like, I never expected to like Mac DeMarco ever. And this album changed my mind.
I feel like if we're doing Mac DeMarco's This Old Dog, which I personally believe is the best Mac DeMarco record. I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people either say 2 or Salad Days. If you say Salad Days, you're a fake Mac DeMarco fan.
You are.
Yeah.
2 is the best one.
Salad Days is fine, but This Old Dog and 2 are just much better. But like, I feel like those ones should have a lot more like, a lot more of Mac DeMarco's polish to it.
But
I still feel like for some reason, I still feel like you would just pick Here Comes the Cowboy over them, which is the part that's just like baffles me. I don't hate Here Comes the Cowboy, and a lot of people do hate it. They think it's just bad.
That wasn't bad. It's just simple and easy and nice.
Well, there is a lot of shit posting.
The world's not simple and easy and nice, Dominic.
But you can like things that are.
The world is on fire. The superbug is taken over.
I listen to Joyrider, okay? I understand.
Infestor Rat's Nest, it's aged to more in 6 months than Mactamaka is aged in probably around the same period of time.
I mean, yeah, Superbug was very prosthetic. Having Quarantine and Chunky Shrapnel is very prosthetic. Probably intentional at that point, but, like... You can call it a shitpost. I could still appreciate it musically for what it is. Like...
Oh yeah, some musical shitposts are great. Like all of like Eric Satie, famous impressionist composer, all of his music was just pure shitposting.
I'm trying to remember what we did with Nonagon Infinity.
I have the list here, I can tell you. We did Blue Oyster
Because-
Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin, and On Avery Island.
Oh yeah, well I think even I put on Avery Island. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think I had them pretty similar. I might have put Nonagon Infinity in front. I can't remember.
I don't know if I put Fire of Unknown Origin first. Or maybe On Avery Island. I think Nonagon Infinity was definitely last for me.
Are you gonna say that a Fire of Unknown Origin is better?
I have to re-listen to it. I don't know.
Because
I will say On Avery Island is definitely better.
I think that week is a pretty hard week, to be honest. I think those are all actually good albums. Fire of Unknown Origin is probably my number 3 that week by far, though. Just because the other two
I either pick good number 2s or easy number 3s.
I mean, that was the week that was sandwiched between the Avalanches and then when we did Japanese Wallpaper and TWRP.
Yeah.
That's a hard week. I mean, and Test the Rat's Nest. I mean, the other one we did on Test the Rat's Nest was Low Roar, and who remembers that?
Well, we'll get some controversial opinions later when we do the full King Gizzard so far ranking. Let's go back into some of the this week albums then. So which moment out of all 3 of these would you say is your favorite? Like your favorite moment?
Ooh.
Doesn't mean song itself, just like even if it's just a part of the song.
I think Breaking Out into Planet B on Chunky Shrapnel was really cool. After Quarantine.
Tricks?
I'm trying to think.
Because there are a lot of good moments for me. I mean, obviously the way that Flying Microtonal Banana opens is just fun as hell.
The way it ends too.
Yeah, I'd say the ending to Crumbling Castle was one of the most epic moments in Polygondwanaland.
Yeah, that's really good too.
I actually agree with you as well. The way that Planet B Live is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's better than the studio version. I think melting going into open water was nice. Because it's like, yeah, the polar ice caps are melting and now it's all open water. Now there's no land. You're gonna drown.
Waterworld.
But better.
Oh, fuck.
But like an actual good movie.
Who started in Waterworld again? I keep forgetting.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
And Dennis Hopper.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to mention when we were doing our 1-year anniversary, I wanted to mention how when at the time I was listening to more Infest the Rat's Nest, and how I got kind of like a Mad Max kind of vibe from the whole side story of the rebels setting up a base on Venus.
Yeah.
And I got thinking about how fucking rad it would be to have just like a Mad Max movie scored by King Gizzard.
I mean,
well, Edgar Wright says that if he can never use it, he plans to use Nonagon Infinity in one of his movies.
That'd be cool.
I mean, George Miller is Australian. George Miller's Australian. King Gizzard's Australian. Make it work.
Surprisingly, I don't think King Gizzard's ever actually been used in a movie. They've made all these kind of film clips and music videos themselves, and created all these stories and made all their movie stuff, but their songs have never actually appeared in a movie, from what I recall.
I mean, you could just put in Polygondwanaland and be fine. Like, it's free.
I swear that King Gizzard will be the next band to have an Interstellar 5555.
I could see it.
Be fucking sick.
Like even like you could easily have it with Infested Rat's Nest. I think that's probably one of the easiest ones to do it with.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
kidding yourself if you think they're not going to make a new album for it.
You cut out a little bit there for me, Dominic.
I was saying you're kidding yourself if you think they're not going to make a new album if they're going to do a movie like that. Like that's just their whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've never done a movie like an Interstellar 5555 though.
But wasn't Interstellar like a whole new album for Daft Punk though?
No, so Interstellar was the Discovery album, all animated.
Right, but didn't it come out like around the same time?
No, it came out. Discovery was out for a while.
I'm gonna look it up.
Me too.
If ever we do Discovery, I think we should include Interstellar 555.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I've
Interstellar
seen it, and it's
555
so fucking good.
released in 2003. Discovery came out 2001. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it was a couple years. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. So have you actually seen Interstellar 5555?
Never the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the whole thing, and so has Trix. It's so worth watching. They have
It is.
I've seen some of the clips, of course.
Yeah, they've done such a great job in because obviously the Daft Punk's One More Time in a music video, which is probably what confuses you, is the opening to Interstellar 5555.
Right. It's like yeah.
Which I can understand why you think then would be because usually music videos and singles and stuff. But it does such a good job. It not only visualizing at what the songs are doing, but also doing this whole story without any dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a film person. I definitely appreciate silent film.
Yeah, but definitely. If we end up doing Discovery, we are 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I'm gonna buy Interstellar 555 in advance just for that.
I will. I need to as well. I
yeah.
know where a copy is. I need to just to get $15 to buy it.
I'll probably need to watch it again. It's been a long time. I love how we're supposed to just be talking about King Gizzard and we're talking about other artists as well. But
and this is what we do.
I do have Discovery on my phone. That's good. I just needed to make sure that.
Also, Face to Face is one of Daft Punk's best songs ever.
Yes.
Look, obviously I'm the big simpleton. When I say I'm still a huge fan of One More Time. I mean, I would probably consider One More Time to be their best song, including Get Lucky and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
but there's still a lot in their early discography, especially off their debut, like Around the World and
I mean, Around the World and One More Time.
Fire Engines.
Defunct.
Fire. Yeah.
Defunct is so fucking good.
I mean, Around the World and One More Time are kind of similar.
Hold up. What's the?
No.
They had another collection of movies for, or just music videos for all of the first album.
But also
Dogs.
My
Androids, Firemen, and Tomatoes.
My favorite underrated song of Discovery, and I don't know how underrated it is, but is Digital Love.
Fuck. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes.
They did another movie called Electrorama.
Yeah,
yeah, is that the one where they start off in the desert just driving a car for
I've not seen it.
20 minutes?
I'm just
no
looking.
sound?
I'm just looking at
I'll find it. There's one that they do, and they just start off in the desert driving a car, and there's no music, and for the first
looks like it probably is.
I mean, Tron Legacy was also just a huge fucking movie for just a giant fucking whatchamacallit music video for Daft Punk.
I'm just trying to find their list of movies. It's I guess Daft Punk discography.
Oh no,
Let's see what is.
I was gonna bring up another movie, but I realized I was thinking of the wrong French house duo.
Yeah, because there's a lot of those.
Yeah, it's Electrorama, or whatever it is.
Because I think Trix, you had brought up Rubber before, right?
Yeah, with the Deadly Tire.
Yeah, and that's scored by Gaspard Augie, who is from Justice. French house duo that's not Daft Punk. It's also still very good.
I'm just looking like I'm looking at the singles that got released from Discovery. So it actually had singles released till 2003.
I mean, because that's when the movie came out, so it was probably just banking off the face of the movie, the fame of the movie.
Which is when they also put out their Daft Club remix album. But then, like 2 years after that, that's when Human After All came out.
Right. Which, I mean, that's kind of like, that's 4 years for an album. That's kind of standard.
Now they're going on 7.
God, I can't believe it's been that long. Fuck.
I mean, if Random Access Memories is the last album they ever put out, it's a fantastic fucking album to end on.
It's an excellent last album, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lose Yourself to Dance, Giorgio by Marauder, Give Life Back to Music.
I mean, yeah, that album's
Touch,
incredible.
Doing It Right, and
Contact.
Instant Crush.
Instant Crush is incredible, though. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love Julian Casablancas.
Obviously, you got Get Lucky as well, but there's just so much good besides Get Lucky.
I mean, Random Access Memories came out like around the time I graduated high school. Jesus.
God, I was in like year 10.
Freshman.
Like it might have been like the not the day, but like the week of or something like that.
Oh, one of the things that I didn't quite realize as well about Random Access Memories is that it was one of the big breakouts in America.
Yeah, that was finally the album to be like, here they are, number 1 on the charts.
Because in Australia, they're actually quite well loved before Random Access Memories, and I just assumed that they were quite popular in America as well.
No, they were quite underground.
I mean,
it was Tron Legacy.
You knew some songs, but none of them charted.
Yeah, it was like
same. 2013 was the same for Arctic Monkeys, which again they were absolutely huge here in England. And then I didn't even know that they were only underground in America until AM.
Like, here's the thing. Like, my memories of Daft Punk as a child was, like, going on YouTube and seeing, like, the videos, like, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, and all that stuff, and, like, everyone would kind of talk about them, right? And be like, oh, yeah, Daft Punk's pretty cool. Like, some of their stuff is weird, but whatever. And then, like, Tron Legacy comes out, everyone's like, oh, that's them. Right, yeah. Fuck, okay. I'm into this. And then Random Access Memories happens, and it's like, they kind of built it up over time here, and it kind of worked out.
They didn't actually get number 1 for a song until Starboy.
Oh, I mean for a song, but for an album, I think they got number 1.
Yeah, but for a song, they didn't actually hit number 1 on the Billboard charts till Starboy.
I mean, and Starboy is also a fantastic way to kind of coast on that as well.
Which I swear is one of the last things Daft Punk has actually appeared on.
Starboy is also a great album.
I think the Daft Punk songs really help carry it though. I mean, to each their own, I guess. Going back onto off this tangent back into King Gizzard, it's quite amazing how we can just like we can talk about this and we can talk about what other artists have done, and that's just how varied they are. With what artists have we had chats about here now? Mac DeMarco, Daft Punk,
Low Roar.
Yeah.
I mean, like, from our podcast, they've touched a lot of things that are important to us. Neutral Milk Hotel.
And some unimportant things, like Low Roar.
Remember Death Stranding? Those songs were in that game.
I still haven't played Death Stranding. I need to get to that.
It's a good game.
We'll talk about Chunky Shrapnel. What songs do you think, Dominic, are better live, and what songs do you think were better studio?
Okay,
We've already touched on that. You think that the Infested Rat's Nest stuff was better live.
Let me get over to that Wikipedia page again. Like, honestly, like, I thought, like, listening to like Wawa and Road Train and all that were fine on Nonagon Infinity, but listening to them on Chunky Shrapnel, I got more into them.
I thought they were better live, or I thought they were better in this.
Like I really like Wawa, Road Train, like anything I basically heard before. I think I liked more on Chunky Shrapnel, except for like the stuff that already counts from this week, like Inner Cell, Loyalty, Horology, etc.
I mean, I think the songs I personally enjoy more live weren't really here on Chunky Shrapnel, which is a bit of a shame, but not really. I mean, they're still so good live that it doesn't really matter. I think Planet B and stuff like that are just fantastic live. They bring so much energy
Oh
to
yeah,
it that it's great. Murder of the Universe, I actually think though, is much better to hear live
it's
than it
weird.
is studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so weird, but it makes this a really good interval.
yeah.
Like that's what it's kind of weird that it's next to an interval song, but it makes such a good interval, and they did Lord of Lightning straight after it when they did it live, when I saw them. And Lord of Lightning is the best song of Murder of the Universe, just by far.
I also just
But it's so based off Nonagon Infinity that it's like, well, yeah, and you might think I'm just criticizing it, but they shout Nonagon Infinity many times in that song.
I just want to
But
also shout out Let Me Mend the Past, like, because that song was also fucking fire. I didn't know they were capable of that. Like that's like
you do.
that's like a fucking throwback like 60s kind of song, and I super like that.
What did you prefer studio though, Dominic?
Kind of like Venusian 2 and Hell, and like I think like the Inner Cell, Loyalty, Horology maybe. Like I don't know what it was about the Udirect recordings. I just did not think they were as interesting as everything else. Like they flowed really really well, but I think they were better on the album.
What do you think, Trix?
I honestly might be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I thought everything that I had heard in studio was better than the live. If that makes sense.
I mean, it also helps that you haven't heard Murder of the Universe or anything.
Yeah.
Or Let Me Know in the Past, or I guess some of the stuff in the Brief History thing. But we have covered most of the songs that they did on Chunky Shrapnel.
Yeah.
Where's
I think I would enjoy them a lot more if I was at the show.
3.
But as a rule of thumb for myself, I generally am not the biggest fan of live stuff, as odd as that sounds.
Oh,
no, fair enough.
So it's from Float Along, Fill Your Lungs.
Yeah, Let Me Mend the Past. Yeah, that's such an old song. I'm trying to think, what's the oldest song that I think I've actually seen them play? I think it was something from I'll have to search up. I can't remember. One song I definitely want to see him play live though, is off Oddmans, and it's a song called Hot Racks. I think they used to play it a lot more back when they didn't have as much of a discography as they do.
Right.
But I've unfortunately never seen that one live. Same with Cellophane. And there's another song off I'm in Your Mind Fuzz called Am I in Heaven? And I swear sometimes they play that song for like 20 minutes live. Oh, actually, I have the two ones on my phone right now, blah blah blah. Let's check out the song listing on this, because it's very long. Yeah, so they do an Am I in Heaven for 12 minutes here. And in Adelaide, what did they do? That's right, they did Head on Pill for 30 minutes.
Wow. That's longer. That is longer.
Yeah, 29 minutes 43 seconds, which I guess technically makes that the longest song.
Should have done that.
Yeah, should have done the live. Look, maybe we'll do all 3 live sets another time.
That's another trilogy.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
So, out of all 5 King Gizzard ones that we've done, what do you think is your least favorite moment? Whether that be a song or a part of a song or whatever.
fucking whatever parking lots or pastaways or whatever the fuck it is. That's solo.
Parking in Chunky Shrapnel.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it's a fine interval.
Yeah, I just don't like drum solos.
Fair enough.
I don't know what it is for me. It's probably something of Nonagon Infinity. Like, maybe it's just like the whole idea of it looping, which I just don't think it works as well as they want it to.
I always skip what is it? Mr. Beat on Nonagon Infinity.
I can see that.
Mr. Beat is probably the weakest song of Nonagon Infinity. I won't deny it, but it grows on you. It at least grows enough on you that that you don't skip it all the time. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think what my least favorite of
Like, if I were to like listen to Chunky Shrapnel more, I might skip the filler segments.
Yeah, I think there were a couple moments in Chunky Shrapnel where I thought, yeah, it did feel a bit more like filler, and they didn't exactly need it. It's one of the longest records, if not the longest record to put out. Well, let's see. Float On, Fill Your Lungs is only 42 minutes, because...
I think some of the other live albums are longer. Oh yeah, Live in Brussels is 95 minutes.
Yeah. But still, like,
Live
the
in Paris,
live stuff is...
Live in Paris is 87 minutes. Live in Adelaide is 112 minutes.
Yep. And I think I've only listened to full live in Paris. I don't think I managed to get through the whole of live in Adelaide, but I will check my scrubbles here just to make sure. So I'll admit, I only listened to Chunky Shrapnel in full once. It's not really something that I felt like I needed to listen to multiple times to understand.
My gold standard is usually 3 times per album, unless I genuinely like it and just listen to it more.
Let's see. Which I think I listened to a bit of Live in Adelaide, but I didn't get through the whole thing. Yeah, I only listened to 2 songs of it, so that would be definitely not much. But I did listen to Live in Paris. Not some of them are Hot Water. Apparently, I listened to twice. I don't understand that. But there were definitely some great songs to hear live in that I wish made it onto Chunky Shrapnel, like Billabong Valley. Muddy Water, This Thing, all fucking great live songs that unfortunately just none of them appeared on Chunky Shrapnel. So we didn't really get any we really only got the ending to Nonagon Infinity compared to the fucking strongest fuck opening, but you can't have everything you want. I do wish that that Chunky Shrapnel, I guess, had a bit more of variety than just being a couple. It feels like three small parts of albums with a lot of filler with it. It's not,
I wonder how
not
it
the
is
filler
as a
that's
movie.
bad, but
Like, would the movie help it make more sense? You think?
I haven't seen it. I could not give you a strong answer on this, unfortunately.
What I would like to see them try. What I would like to see them try is like, do you know how Justice, when they do live albums, like kind of Daft Punk does it too, where they just remix and just put the songs together and just make a whole new thing out of it, basically, like smashing things together.
Yeah.
Like they should do that. Like they should just do that. Like kind of do the Nonagon Infinity idea of like making a complete concert just be like one long thing, or like a one long set that only really begins and ends when they need to take a break or something.
Well, we have this article here that says, I watched King Gizzard's new film and now understand the band's global appeal. So maybe Dominic, maybe you do have to watch it.
Yeah. Like if they just broke down all the songs and made like a Nonagon Infinity kind of like loop, I would be really interested to hear how all these kind of like flow together. That's hard to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Unfortunately, Yeah, we'll have to wait to see if they ever do actually release it again. Maybe if they do, I'll actually watch it. It's a bit hard to get the will to watch something specifically then.
I mean, there is the CD, I'm sure. Probably buy that somewhere.
Yeah, I think Classic Red Eye has it.
I don't know about here, but at least over there.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hate the post on the King Gizzard subreddit someone's put in. Just, you know what? I'm not going to describe it, but I will post
Link
it
it,
instead. Yeah, I'm going to post it instead, and
Yeah,
everybody else can just... You're very close. You're very close.
I was
Dominic.
doing link sounds.
The what?
That's not.
Let's not do this, please.
Is that the vomit robot I heard about?
I gotta translate it. Hold up.
That's the robot from Murder of the Universe.
The one that vomits, right?
Yep. Oh no, that's yeah, I think it is.
Oh boy.
I'm translating the Japanese using fucking Google Translate right now.
How do you copy paste that?
You can import images.
Shit, I didn't know. Oh, another favorite from all of overall King Gizzard is definitely when they say Nonagon Infinity opens the door. That is a great moment.
Yeah, that really hit me hard.
I genuinely like that part of Nonagon Infinity. Actually, I wish there was more of it.
Yeah, I'm taking a look. It's a bit hard.
Oh,
the vinyl was quite Fuck, I'll post this image as well. The vinyl was pretty easy to find, but oh my god. So apparently the text translates to rattlesnake. Oh, the King Gizzard subreddit. It's giveth and the King Gizzard subreddit taketh.
That's something I'd see on the OC subreddit too. Because fucking John is fucking all over that mic.
Yeah. With that, have we got any other moments to do, or shall we do the glorious King Gizzard ranking?
Let's rank all 5. Unless Trixie has something to say.
No, I don't.
You want me to go first?
You know what?
I'll go first. Fuck it.
Yeah, you know
number
what?
5. Number 5, I'm gonna throw down as Chunky Shrapnel.
I don't think there's any surprises in that one.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of live albums, if I'm gonna be honest.
You did like Live at Jittery Joe's, I think, though.
Yeah, that's different though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, I do like some live performances, but like when it's like assembled like this, I'm usually not like the biggest fan. And it's one of those things where like if it had video, I would probably like it a lot more too.
Unfair.
Number 5. Ooh.
Number 4.
Oh, number 4 is
There you go.
I'm gonna say fucking fuck. I'm blanking. Fucking Nonagon Infinity. Ooh.
Wow.
That took me a minute.
How many times did you have to replay the album to make that decision?
Well, I was running through the song titles in my head.
Yeah.
Like, Gamma Knife? No, that's not it.
Well,
but yeah, I like the album, but the other ones are just stronger, I think.
Yep, it's fair enough. All right, come into your third.
Infest the Rat's Nest.
So this week has confirmed to giving you a new lease in King Gizzard.
Yes.
Well, I think number 1 you've liked for a while, so you know.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
so it's got to be no surprises, but still say it to everyone.
Yeah, number 3, I'm gonna throw as Polygondwanaland.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Infest the
Yeah,
Rat's Nest.
Number 3 was Infested Rats Nest. You said number 2 is Polygondwanaland. Just kidding.
Yeah, my bad. I'm
getting the
confusing
rankings back.
myself. Yeah, I'm not used to
Don't
doing
correct her
live.
rankings.
So it's
Oh, no.
Chunky Shrapnel, in Gamma Knife, or not Gamma Knife, Nonagon Infinity, Infest the
Chunky.
Rats Nest, Polygondwanaland, and Microtonal Banana, Flying Microtonal Banana.
Alright, she got there. It's all good.
My 3
Dominic,
brain cells are screaming at me
Dominic,
right
you
now.
want to go, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I'll get it done with. My number 5 is Nonagon Infinity. My number 4 is Infest the Rat's Nest. My number 3 is Chunky Shrapnel. My number 2 is Flying Microtonal Banana. My number 1 is Polygondwanaland.
See, I've never... I still don't see how you put like the albums in that order you do, but I would just so different in the taste when it comes to that I don't think I'm ever going to see. But still, that's a ranking.
I mean, you take your victory. You got me into King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It only took 3 episodes.
Yeah.
This isn't another Violent Soho.
Yeah, I'll take what I can get, I guess. Number 5 is look, it has to be Chunky Shrapnel. I think if you asked me to compare it with all the albums, it doesn't come last. In fact, there's probably a couple of albums I might put below this. I think there's still enough good compared to bad, but a lot of what it does good is because it's from all the other albums, which I think do it better. So it's kind of stuck at number 5 regardless. Number 4, it's the lowest it's gonna get, which is a bit of a shame, is Flying Microtonal Banana. I have grown on this album quite a lot, but like you're asking me to compare it to the next 3, which I just the top 3 King Gizzard albums, my opinion. So it never really had a chance. Number 3, I have to I like it a lot, and for a while back when it came out, I thought, yeah, this one is definitely my favorite King Gizzard album. But then, like, kind of going into it all, not, but it's up there. It's Polygondwanaland. I still think it does math rock better than a lot of math rock artists do. It's so jammy, and it's an experience. Like, it's an album.
Yes.
Really. That's what makes it so good. I try not to put in the fact that, the whole public domain thing into my opinion of that, because that just makes me even more biased because of how fucking cool that was.
Yeah.
Number 2 now.
It's the thing you two should have done with Songs of Innocence.
Yeah, no, number 1 and number 2 was so hard to like tell apart, but I think going into what I've said before, what I personally think of these, what I've given rankings and stuff like that, and which one I actually go back to in full more often, I think number 2 is going to be Nonagon Infinity. I love the concepts. I love a lot of the tunes. I agree with Tricks. Mr. Beat is easily the most skippable song out of any of them, but it's grown on me a lot to the point in which I don't skip it. And everything else is so good, but number 1 is Infest the Rat's Nest for me. I just love it to death.
That is our rankings for King Gizzard.
Yeah.
We actually ranked the albums this week, unlike last week. That's a victory there. I'm gonna edit that. I still don't know yet. We'll see. Stay tuned. You'll know by the time this goes up. Anyway.
Well, we made up for it by ranking 2 more albums this week.
Just throw text to speech in there.
That brings us to next week.
Well, that's Murder of the Universe, which is number 6.
Who wants to talk about what they're doing next week? Because we're going to go in a very different direction, I feel.
Yes, I'll go. I'm going back to my roots, and I'm going to be doing a surf album.
Yay!
I'm going to be doing Baloo. I don't know how to say his name. Balue. His album, Quiet Dreamer. And I have some extra credit for at least Dominic on this one, because I know as the summer is winding down in the Northern Hemisphere, becoming that magical time of the year where it starts to turn fall into it's from summer into fall, and you just got those beautiful summer nights.
Yes.
Like a slight crisp in the air. I want you to listen to this album during sunset on a walk.
Ooh.
Oh no, no.
I'll try.
Dominic, you go next. You're next in rankings.
All right. So, for the next 2 weeks, we're going to take a little journey, and I'll be leading the way, and we're going to dive into Kendrick Lamar. And we're going to start with To Pimp a Butterfly.
All right.
You know how we always had these complaints where I don't get a lot of American politics? Yeah, that's going to be on this album a lot.
You don't have to understand it. Like, you just vibe with what you vibe with. And
Oh, no, don't
I mean,
get me wrong. There's songs I actually generally love To Pimp a Butterfly and vibe with.
I mean, I still like Tism, despite not understanding all they're talking about. Like, I feel like, for me, like, when I talk about Tism, me not understanding Australian stuff is almost like a given.
But just want to say, when I hear songs about how all the prisons are overfilled and stuff, I don't feel that. We understand not to overfill our prisons here.
Just reflect on how much of a hellscape America can be.
I'd rather not. Please no. Please let me live in my own country. Thank you. Speaking of living in my own country, I'm going to be picking an absolute classic from my own country. One that's just celebrated 20 years 2 days ago, I think. Yeah, 2 days ago. Powderfinger's Odyssey number 5. And again, with a bit of extra credit, and I guess this technically makes it a 2020 album. We are going to be doing the deluxe edition.
Oh shit!
Yep, the 20th anniversary deluxe edition.
Oh, is that available outside of Australia?
If it's not, I'll make sure it is for you.
It
absolutely should be.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
If it's not, we'll figure it out. Until then,
Okay.
I've been Ritalin/Callum. You can catch me at my website, Ritalin4Kids at github.io. I sometimes post projects there, but I don't really. Maybe one day I'll develop something new, but you know. Yeah, I also have a YouTube channel where if I do actually develop something, I'll post it on there as well. So it's probably best to follow that, because sometimes I reckon I update that more than the YouTube. I update the YouTube more than the YouTube. I've become tricks in my speaking ability, so that's the call for me to end.
Oh yeah, Odyssey number 5 20th anniversary edition is on Spotify. Sorry to interrupt.
It is?
Yes.
Sweet, easy.
I've been Tricks. You can catch me on Twitter at procrastronaut_. That's like procrastinating astronaut with an underscore at the end of it. And I also have a YouTube channel where sometime this month I'm going to be unboxing a bass or two, because I bought a couple. Yeah. We also have just a general podcast Twitter at Dissonant Waves, and we also have a website that I never update, dissonantwaves.space.
And that leaves me. I am Dominic. You can catch me at tiltingwindmillstudios.com. I'm also on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. That's my initials and last name spelled out, because no one knows how to pronounce or spell it usually. So I do it for you. If anyone has anything else to say, I think that's going to be it for us.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Go to sleep, Dominic. You need it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.